Don't be afraid of studies.
Can you comment? एक तुम ही देख रहे हो क्या? एक लोग तो देख रहे हैं यार. Okay, so let's start moving towards fishing of Japan. Fishing of Japan. ये पूरा खत्म ही करूँगी. Fishing of Japan in the northwest Pacific surrounding the island of Japan is another major fishing area. Surrounding the island of Japan. Another fishing area. Nowhere else in the world are there so many people engaged in fishing as in the part of the Northwest Pacific. Okay, so Northwest Pacific known for fishing activities. The mountainous nature of the Japan and the parts of the mainland Eastern Asia has driven many to seek a livelihood from the sea. The scarcity of meat, that is a little pasture in Japan for livestock farming of any kind, and religious reasons have popularized fish as a principal item of diet and the chief protein food of the Japanese and the Chinese as well. So that's why they have fish in their diet, and they also have it because of other culture reasons as well. Large quantity of fish and fish products are either canned or preserved for export to neighboring countries. They are also engaged in exporting of the fish, so it forms a important economic activity. The Japanese also make use of fish waste, fish meal, and seaweeds. Okay, seaweeds are largely eaten in Japan. That algae, what we call as seaweeds, it's very nutritious as fertilizers in their farms. Japan is one of the few countries that has taken to seaweed cultivation. Yes. So recently, the government of India is also promoting seaweed cultivation because it's a very nutritious item, or what we call as the plant-based food material. Coastal farms that are submerged in water grow weeds for sale as fertilizers, chemical ingredients, and even as food. So, another interesting aspects of Japanese fishing is a pearl culture. So they are also engaged in pearl culture. पर मतलब मोती का जो मोती farming होती है ना, pearl farming. So they are also engaged in pearl farming. The divers of southern Japan dive down into the coastal waters and bring to the surface shellfish called oysters and extract the highly prized pearls for sale as ornaments. So that's how Japan is a hub for pearl farming and pearl cultivation, and largely involved in the export of the pearls. So almost done. We also have international whaling commission, that regulates the whaling activities or fishing activities in the region. So international whaling commission has been saying Japan to put regulation on fishing activities due to overfishing that is harming the biodiversity of the ocean. but it's one of the major item of one of the major items for export, and regulation still not there in Japan with respect to the uh, fishing activities. The lining of the oyster shells, called the mother of the pearl, is used for the manufacture of pearl buttons and other decorative articles. As natural pearls in oysters are difficult to obtain in large numbers, the Japanese have begun to breed the young oysters. By injecting tiny seeds into them, the oysters are made to secrete the pearl material. So it is this pearl, moti is secreted by the oyster. It's not present. That pearl is secreted by the oyster. So consider it is like a poop of the oyster. Which accumulates to form cultured pearls. These are collected and exported. So the Japanese interest in fishing is not confined to their own territorial waters. They venture far and wide into Arctic, Antarctic. So they are involved in fishing activities different parts of the oceans, not only confined to the Pacific Ocean as well. Large whaling fleets, complete with processing plants and experienced crews, stay out in the open seas and only occasionally for refilling or replacement of fresh provisions. So all these things are related to fish farming in Japan, and related to fish export. That forms one of the significant economic activities of Japan. So as a nation, Japan accounts for the sixth of the world's total annual fish caught. She is the world's greatest fishing nation today. Her active participation in international fishing enterprise and her advanced fishing techniques speak well for her endless drives to make good from the seas and wash lacks on land. So this is all overall the idea of the fishing of Japan, pearl cultivation, overfishing and major export. It forms a major part of their export items. So all is almost done. We'll be moving to us last chapter on climatic condition, that is the Arctic or the polar climate. So this is the last chapter. So today I'll be finishing this and I'm then done with my chapters. Now let us find out why this is possible. Japan is not well endowed with natural resources, for as much as 80% of her land is classified non-agriculture. So 80% of the land of the Japan is non-agricultural land. She has to take to the sea if she wants to survive. So this has compelled the people, so non-agriculture, and not able to do farming in on the land. So they are more engaged with fishing activities, and that's why Japan's economy is based on export of the fish and other marine items. Thank you, Gyanwei. She has to take to sea if she wants to survive. This has compelled the people to develop the seas, and fishing has for centuries been the traditional occupation of many coastal Japanese. So every session from today onwards will be a 30-minute session. The first is the non-agriculture land of the Japan. Why they have undertaken fishing activities? Because of non-agriculture land. So 80% of their land are not fertile, so they are not able to I'm not able to perform agriculture activities. That's why they have taken to fishing activities. The continental shelves around the island of the Japan are rich in plankton due to the meeting of the warm Kuroshio and the old Oyashio current, and provide excellent breeding grounds for all kinds of fish, including herring, cod, mackerel, bonito, salmon, sardine, tuna, as well as crabs and lobster. So where Japan is located, in that region there is a meeting point of the warm ocean current, that is a Kuroshio current and the Oyashio current, and that's why that warm atmospheric change. Yeah. Yes, I know. So now I'm no more posting AI videos. I will be posting my own videos now. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So first is non-agriculture, second is a warm Kuroshio and Oyasho current, and third is the Indian. So I will be more serious with my live videos now. Okay, so I'll try to. Um, so how is the plan? So my plan is that I will be more involved with the live videos, and let's see if I'll make some my own educative videos now. So the Indian coastline of Japan provides sheltered fishing ports, calm waters, and safe landing spots. How will you plan? So that's what I'm saying. In shorts also, I plan my educative shorts and videos. Yeah. Okay, so let's start. The Indian coastline of Japan provides sheltered fishing ports, calm waters, and safe landing places, ideal for fishing industry. Indian coastline. Okay. In Hokkaido, where the Laurentian type of climate is too cold for active agriculture, fishing takes first place. Hakodate and Kushiro are large fishing ports. Okay, I have to just mention the names. So first the reason. What are the different reason for fishing culture in Japan? So 80% of the land infertile, non-agricultural land. Then um, their coastline is a place where there's a meeting of ocean current, warm ocean current. Continental cells. Around the island of Japan are rich in plankton. Due to the meeting of the warm ocean current. Kuroshio and the cold ocean current. Oyashio. Kuroshio and the Oyashio current. Okay. Third is the indented coastline of Japan. Provides sheltered fishing ports, calm waters, and safe handling places ideal for fishing industry. Some of the ports example like Hokkaido. It's too cold for active agriculture fishing. A large fishing port. So Hokkaido and Kodet and Kushiro and the large fishing ports. Is complete with refrigeration facilities as well. Okay, now another reason is that lack of lowlands and pastures mean that only a few animals can be kept to supply meat and other protein food. Okay, Fish in all its varied forms, fresh, canned, dry, frozen in the form of fish paste, fish sauce, and spiced condiments take the place of meat as Japan's primary source of protein food. There's a great demand for it locally and for the export to other East Asiatic neighbors. Of course, there's a reason why lack of only a few animals can survive or can be kept for meat. Protein food. Another reason is that Japanese fishermen began with small fishing boats using nets, traps, line, trawlers. With the progress made in industries, fishing has become more scientific, aiming at heavy hauls, high returns, and economy of time, effort, and money. Though three-quarters of the fishermen practice offshore pelagic fishing, either full-time or part-time in small boats. Most of the commercial fishing is now highly mechanized. So there are different types or different types of fishing activities like demersal fishing and all. So I'm done with this today. Now moving towards the Arctic and polar climate. So this is the last chapter. Thank God. The Arctic or the polar climate. I'll finish it today anyhow. Not much to do in this chapter. थोड़ा सा ही है, करके निकल जाते हैं. So Arctic and और polar climate में कोई agriculture activities नहीं होगा, rainfall नहीं होगा, very cold. So there will be snow all around the year. So, okay. So what is the distribution? Very high up in the latitudes. That is, you can say from 80 to 90 degree north, somewhere like this. And similarly 80 to 90 degree south. Let's say distribution. So just we'll write only those points that we don't know. What we know, we won't write that. Okay. The polar type of climate and vegetation is found mainly north of the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere, of course. The ice caps are confined to Greenland and to the highlands of these high latitude regions where the ground is permanently snow covered. So here the ground will always be covered in snow. The lowlands with a few months ice-free have tundra vegetation. So what is the type of vegetation? Of course, the type of vegetation is a tundra vegetation, that is a coniferous trees and forest. They include the coastal strip of Greenland. So what is the spread of this climatic condition? Yes, I'm writing the spread. Coastal strip of Greenland. The barren grounds of North Canada. Alaska, the Arctic seaboard of Eurasia. So this is the spread, of this type of climate. This is known as polar climate or the Arctic type of climate. When I read geography, I make it interesting. I'll tell you how do I make it interesting. Whenever I read anything, I visualize it that I am, some days going to that place. In the southern hemisphere, the virtually uninhabited continent of the Antarctica is the greatest single stretch of the ice cap. Of course. Where the layers of the permanent ice are thick as 10,000 feet. So the ice thick as 10,000 feet. So how do you make geography interesting now? I'll tell you a story, okay? Now we are moving towards climate temperature. So it will be, precipitation will be in the form of snowfall in the winter season, and the summer season also the temperature will be below freezing point only. It will be snowfall. So there will be snowfall only. Let's say it will be frozen always. So climate first is the temperature, then we'll see precipitation, then is the vegetation and the human activities. Not that much of human activities, but we'll find certain tribes that live in such harsh conditions. So more focus on the temperature. Let's see what's the temperature. We can guess actually the temperature of this region. So the polar climate is characterized by a very low mean annual temperature. Because the temperature will be very low mean annual, and its warmest month in July seldom rises to more than 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Just think, the warmest month is only just 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, and its warmest month is, so when this Arctic region will experience its warmest month in July, and it seldom rises to more than 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So in mid-winter, as in January, temperature as low as minus 35 degrees Fahrenheit. And much colder in the interior. Of course, just if the temperature is this much in the coastal regions, so what will happen in the interior? Normally, not more than 4 months have temperatures above freezing point. So that means only 4 months have temperature above freezing point. So winters are long and very severe, as we know. There is so the insolation of the sun or the light of the sun does not reach, and it experiences 6 months night, this region, in the winter season. And in the summer season, the sun will not set only. It will be like evening, but the sun will not set. Winters are long and very severe. Summers are cool and brief. Within the Arctic and Antarctic circles, there are weeks of continuous darkness. So in the winter season, just think. At the North Pole, there are 6 months without light in winter, as I said you. Despite the long duration of the sunshine in the summer, when the sun does not set, temperature remain below. Just think that in summer the sun does not set only in this region, in the polar climate, but then also the temperature will be low. So temperature will be low because the sun is not high up in the sky, sun is low in the sky. It's more type of an evening sun with not that much of heat or insulation. And much of the warmth are used up in the melting ice. Okay. It has little power left to raise the air temperature. So the sun does not have that much of power insulation that it will raise the temperature. Water in the soil is frozen to great depths, and the summer heat can only thaw the upper 6 inches of the soil. The ground remains solidly frozen for all but 4 months. So only the 4 months at a time when the ground does not remain frozen, and rest of the months the ground remain frozen. So this is a polar type of climate. We all know how the polar type of climate is. So we don't need to read that much. Okay. Frost occurs at any time, and blizzard reach a velocity of, just think, the cold wind that blows here. It reaches a velocity of 130 miles an hour. Just think. They can be very hazardous for the polar inhabitants in coastal districts where warmer water. So they had also in coastal areas, warmer ocean current will meet the colder. Oh, happy birthday area. So the warmer ocean current will meet the cold ocean current, and the fog-like conditions will be created. Speak, you have not taken by any off from city. So look now. Welcome. Shorts. So now I'm not going to make AI videos. Bye. I'm no more going to make AI shorts now. I'll just change my stance. So they can be very hazardous for in coastal districts where the warm water means a cool thick fogs may develop. I'm trying to make challenge videos, through my live chat, that we'll do some challenge video that we have to complete this much in this many hours, and let's see that if I could complete or not, and you can rate my studies. Do you guys have any idea? Then you can suggest. Yes, so I'm planning to make challenge video, something like that, to make it more entertaining. So I'll plan, then I'll let you know. First I have to plan. Oh shit. Just give me some time. So that's what I'm saying. Will share if I have any idea. Okay. If you have any idea, then you can share how to make live videos more entertaining and with respect to study only. Okay, not too much of chat or talks. So I want to make it really productive and interesting. Okay, moving towards precipitation. Yeah, okay. प्रेसिपिटेशन अब देखते हैं यहाँ पे बारिश कैसे होती है. बारिश होगी नहीं होगी, ऑफ कोर्स इज़ वेरी कोल्ड, इवेपोरेशन नहीं होगा, कुछ नहीं होगा, बारिश होगी नहीं. बारिश प्रेसिपिटेशन कैसे होगा? इन द फॉर्म स्नो. So they have written also precipitation is in the form of snow. Falling in winter and being drifted about. Comes in the precipitation. Yeah. Rain, snow, hailstorm, frost, all comes in the precipitation only. So today I am going to complete this climatic part. I'm so relieved. I'll start with different topics, some exciting and new topic. From so many days I'm reading this topic. I'm also bored, but now it's over. Precipitation is mainly in the form of snow because this Arctic polar climate we all know, so we don't need to pay that much of attention. Falling winter and being drifted about during blizzards. Snowfall varies with locality. It may fall either as ice crystals or large amalgamated snowflakes, or do held all together on your minds of past. So there is a pattern I have made a mind map for myself wherein whatever I learn I keep on putting my datas. So it's more like a mind map. I have made a type of mind map, and whenever I feel that I have to I have to read something or I have to know something or I have to say something, I take that data from the mind map and tell you guys. So there is a pattern in my head, and while studying I put everything in on according to that pattern only. So it's for every subject, the one simple pattern. Otherwise it's impossible to remember everything, just impossible until unless you have a pattern. So snowfall varies with locality. Okay, it may fall either as ice crystal or large amalgamated snowflakes. As it takes 10 to 12 inches of snow to make 1 inch of rain. So this is very interesting point. So how much snow will make rain? So 10 to 12 inches of snow will make 1 inch of rain. So isn't it an interesting point? Precipitation in polar regions can be expected to be less. Sometimes very light precipitation happen because of course if precipitation starts, rainfall starts happening in polar region, then the ice will melt and all the glaciers will melt. Not more than 12 inches in a year. Is much higher than that. Yes. अभी हाल में एक न्यूज़ आया था कि आर्कटिक रीजन में एक फ्लावर ब्लूम हुआ है, तो उसमें खुशी होने की कोई बात नहीं है, इसमें दुख जताने का बात है, बिकॉज क्लाइमेट चेंज इज इम्पैक्टिंग आर्टिक रीजन एज वेल. If rainfall will happen, then the flowers will bloom, or the vegetation will happen, then it's very dangerous for the glaciers. The glaciers will start melting. So many people feel very happy कि flower has bloomed in the Arctic region. Convection rain means of course there will be no convection rainfall. ये गर्म है ही नहीं जिसके जिससे इवापोरेशन होगा. Mountain humidity. So this is all the effect of climate change. The climate is changing very fastly. And I don't know what future will show us. God knows. Do you know public में है काफ़ी अच्छी ठंडी. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Do you know about that animal elk? Elk किसको बोलते हैं? Elk आपको पोलर रीजन में ही मिलेगा. Elk. There is normally some maximum precipitation is then in the form of rain or sleet. बोल सकते हैं यहाँ पे समर मैक्सिमम है, क्योंकि रेनफॉल जो थोड़ा मोड़ा होता है वो समर में होता है. Some sort of animal or no, it's reindeer. It's reindeer. इसके बड़े बड़े सींग होते हैं ना, they fall their what do you say, horns now, horns also. What is bonobo? Can someone tell me bonobo? So regions where winds blowing out from the large anticyclones develop over the ice caps are prevalent. Rain comes in summer where more evaporation is possible. Leno, no, bonobo is a type of orangutan. No, it's a type of orangutan. rain comes in summer. And more evaporation is possible. But in coastal areas, the cyclones are more strongly felt. The tendency is towards a winter maximum. So it will be different, sir. Continental area or coastal area में. So here also you'll find that in coastal area, winter rainfall होता है इधर coastal areas में. Polar region का coastal area. So this is an important point. So on Sunday I'm planning to write essay. So I'll write essay, and then I will ask you guys to rate my essay. Okay. Or that is when cyclonic activity is greatest. In such regions, the annual rainfall is 10 to 12 inches for the tundra may be exceeded. Much heavy rainfall has been recorded, especially in areas where the cyclones are most frequent in Jan, Mine, and okay. Jan, Main, 71 degree north, 8 degree west, 71 degree north, 8 degree west. Okay. Vardo, Jan, Main, Vardo. Okay. This has 15 inches and this has 21 inches. And Manga Salik. Look at the name and Maxalic and Maxalic, 37 inches. So the rhythm of the precipitation of the tundra region taken at Upernivik Greenland. Its winter temperature is -8 okay, but its warmest month is in July, is only 41 degree Fahrenheit, giving an temperature range of 40. So annual temperature range will be slow, right? Precipitation is low, only 9.1 inches. Falling mainly in the second half of the August rainstorm. So here we see the temperature, annual range of temperature will be less, because in summer also we'll have cool temperature, in winter we'll have very cold temperature. Now we look at a tundra vegetation. What are the different types of tundra vegetation you'll find here? Arctic prairies. So these are the important vegetation part. So I'm coming with next session. I'll take 5 minutes break. It's already 44 minutes. I'm planning the session of 30 minutes. Just like we do in Pomodoro. So 2 more topics are left: tundra vegetation, human activities, and what all which tribes they stay here, they live here. And this is done. Okay.